Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Self-Healing Reset. It's time to thrive. Yes, it is. It's time to remember all that you were created to be, and that is healthy, vital, self-healing, all of it. So it is so excellent to see all of you here today. Let's get started. I'm going to be talking fast. There's going to be a lot of excellent information. Take notes, stay engaged with me, clear out all distractions, and let's get right into it. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Here we go. I'm going to move this out of the way. Let's go to slideshow. Here we go. The self-healing reset. Awaken your body's intelligence and dissolve inflammation, exhaustion, and emotional heaviness in just 8 weeks. Is it possible? Of course it is. Of course it is when we understand our self-healing design, which we're never taught in the traditional medical paradigm. The way that we seek our health and care for our health in the medical system does not actually make us healthy. It doesn't actually regenerate us optimally like our bodies are meant to do. Oops, what's going on here? Okay. So during today's web class, you're going to learn about your self-healing design, which allows you to take complete control of your health and vitality now and always without doctors, drugs, and diets, because you are already connected to everything that you envision. We're not declining, friends. Do you get it? Is that making sense to you? We're not declining. We're not. We're programmed to believe that we decline. We live in a world where foods are marketed to us that contribute to our decline, where a lifestyle has been normalized that contributes to our decline in terms of work more, be productive, not tune in with self. See, nothing in our culture, I don't want to say nothing, but many things in our culture teach us to be so distracted outside of our own selves that we're not looking within for the answers and we're not giving our bodies what they need to heal. So treating your physical health should not cost your mental health. Has anyone ever gotten a diagnosis and then got stressed out about it or anxious about it or depressed about it? So whenever we get a diagnosis is the understanding of the misalignment, that's an invitation to our greater power. So treating your physical health should never cost your mental health. So please give me 100% of your attention here, okay? Because 100% of your attention will organize the matter of your body differently right here, right now. So remove all distractions and get present because your higher self is waiting for this focus. Are you getting it? Okay, so who is this for? I love that none of your cells are as old as you are because our body's regenerating all the time, every day. We have new organs every couple of months. We're always regenerating. So this idea of like, oh, you get sick and then you just keep making sick cells. Well, yeah, if you don't ever change the root cause of what created the misalignment, which we're going to talk about today. So who is this for? This is for people who want to learn their innate healing power. This is for people who want to thrive and never be sick. Well, who has time to be sick? Life is too good to spend any time being sick. Okay, it's for those who won't settle for aches and pains or excess weight or illness of any kind. It's for those who want to feel great and look great for their entire 100+ year lives. Okay, they want a healthy, active lifespan. Okay, this is not for people who don't want to take responsibility for their health and their lives. Okay, it's not for someone that just wants to take a pill and tune out. Okay. It's not for those who don't want to learn something that gives them total responsibility for the vitality. Because here's the thing, friends. It is the best news ever that you create it all. That's the best news ever. And some people are affronted by that. Like, are you saying that I created this disease? Well, isn't it the best news ever? Because then you can create it differently. There's no power outside of you to correct. You are the one that corrects. And I'll show you how to do that in this class. Okay. It's all within you, and it's the best news ever. And it's not about placing blame because, see, when you're not creating on purpose, then you're creating by default. And when you're creating by default, whatever comes up, it's not to blame. You were just creating by default. You didn't understand how the system works. So that's why understanding how the system works is so important. Doesn't this make sense? So when you stay to the end today, you'll get a copy of the Supernatural Green Diet. I wrote this book probably about 15 years ago, and I just revised it here. It's full of a bunch of quick and easy recipes to help you stay on track in the alkaline way, which we'll be talking about. And it also helps you shop and live in a way that you decrease garbage by over 50%, which is so good. Really, so much of what anybody eats in packaging is not really what you want to be eating anyway. So I kind of help you awaken to that. So this is me. I used to have my own show on Hulu called Blythe Raw Live. These are some of my books. These are some of the wonderful people that were on my show. I was on the cover of the Who's Who International version. So that's a little bit about me to tell you I know what I'm talking about. So I want you to know that it's not your fault. Okay. If you have stiff joints and low energy, depression, excess weight, it's not your fault. See, we are fed what multi-billion-dollar ad campaigns tell us is food. So I put this graphic in here, this image in here, because my family and I, we go hiking in Franklin Canyon, and there's a couple ponds, and there's signs that say, don't feed the ducks, don't feed the turtles. And it's I read that sign one time and I had this awakening of like, oh my God, that's exactly what's happening to the humans. Because when the humans feed the ducks or the turtles, turtles and ducks are not meant to eat bread or crackers or Doritos or Fritos or whatever the humans are giving it to, giving them. It creates incorrect digestion, incorrect poop. So then it creates incorrect bacteria. It makes it so that they're not foraging for their own food and they're not eating the food that they're meant to eat, which cripples them and creates disease in them. So like all these bad things happen when the humans feed the wildlife the human food. And that's exactly what's happening in humans. We're being marketed these campaigns that tell you that this is food, that cereal's food, that crackers is food, that whatever, these processed packaged ramen is food. All this stuff is food. Fast food is food. Fast food is not food. It's a chemical laboratory experiment to see, can we get you addicted to this? And yes, we can, because we've put the exact right amounts of salts and fats and everything together to, make you addicted to it, but it's not really food. And how do we know it's not really food? Because it doesn't mold. I met a woman, a teacher, who literally has a Big Mac and fries from 15 years ago in a container that looks exactly the same. Is that shocking? And what actually is so sickening about this is people really get sick. When people have been eating those kinds of chemicals and cooked oils, results happen. I mean, my stepdad has the beginning stages of Parkinson's. He's had that for quite a few years. He hasn't decreased because he's really been so on top of it with everything. But he drank aspartame for decades. He drank Diet Coke for decades. And he ate fast food for decades. And, that have chemicals in them that are proven to be neurotoxins. So it's not a stretch. I mean, aspartame has been proven to be a neurotoxin. So it's not a stretch to say, oh, if you eat and drink neurotoxins for decades, that you're going to have a result from that. So this is choice, okay? It's not our fault, but we got to wake up and choose again, okay? Imagine knowing your body. You were never taught how your body works. We were never taught the self-healing design. Okay. You were led to believe that illness is genetic destiny. It is not. Now we have whole new branches of science like epigenetics that disproves the hereditary thing, right? And the reason why hereditary, why it matters if your mom had breast cancer or your dad had colon cancer or whatever, the reason why we've even seen patterns in families is because families tend to what? Make the same lifestyle choices, live in the same emotional atmospheres. They tend to have the tribal thought patterns that went before them, which is why their genes tend to express the same way, because now we have sciences that have shown us that the gene expresses by the environment, not by the the way the gene, like the gene isn't just programmed and that's what it is forever. No, the genes are changing and they're expressing by the chemicals that we're bathing in and breathing in and eating and all of that, the emotional chemicals that we're making, if we're living from stress instead of living from peace, all of that changes our genetic destiny. And now we have the science to show us that. So if you ever have a doctor that says, this is hereditary, da, 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 it's like they're not up on the latest information, because it does not matter if everyone in your family has gotten some illness before. That does not matter if you're making different choices than all of them have always made. And that's a really important point. Okay, you were never taught the significance of your pH. Oh my gosh. I, several years ago, went to get a hormone panel from a doctor in Beverly Hills, and nothing from that appointment was of any value to me at all, because he had no idea what the hormones meant or what to even do about them. Once the results got back, I figured all of that out on my own. Um, but what was interesting is that my pH was so low, it was under 7, and he never brought it up. That was never brought up at all. And it was a huge indication to me, because I had already been teaching about the pH. I already like knew that, but because my lifestyle was so busy with 2 little kids and all these things, I wasn't tending to my nourishment the way that I really knew that I was supposed to. And my pH began to be a little bit acidic. And that doctor didn't even bring that up. And really, that was the biggest marker that if I stayed there, that would indicate degeneration to come. And of course, you don't need to go to the doctor to get your pH. You just get a pH strip from Amazon or uh, the drugstore. It's $8 and you test your pH. Okay, and you want to be at least a 7.43 to regenerate optimally, which we'll go more into that later. Okay, so you were taught to listen to a doctor instead of yourself. That's just the culture. That's just what we do. The doctor tells you to do it. Okay. Okay, you were never taught you had conscious dominion over your health and vitality, that you can command your body, that you can wake up and say, body, thank you. I command you for full energy, full vibrancy. I plan to live this day feeling great. Inflammation be dissolved. We were never meant to talk to our body and to command our wellness, but that's what we can do. Okay, so many of you may know Dr. Christiane Northrup, one of my favorite authors. Her book, Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom, changed my life. I read that book when I was 18 years old, and it definitely led me on this path that I'm on now of total empowerment with my health. And you also may know Andrew Kaufman, who's read several amazing books. This post is powerful. So Dr. Christiane Northrup shares his post. And it says, after years of research, here's the uncomfortable truth. Allopathic medicine, which means traditional Western medicine, is not designed to make you healthy. It's designed to manage symptoms just enough to keep you dependent while suppressing the very signals your body uses to heal. Because that's what medication does. It turns off the sign or symptom, but the sign or symptom is actually what's healing the body. For instance, when you have a fever, the body temperature rises to kill the pathogen. The body has wisdom. It's heating up to kill the pathogen. And what do most people do? Oh, I have a fever. I better take a fever suppressor. And they put the fever down. And then they wonder why they're still sick for 2 weeks, because they turned off their body's natural design to kill the pathogen. Okay. And that's what Ah, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. That's what all the medications are doing. They're turning off the symptom. Okay. Just long enough to suppress the very signal your body uses to heal. Okay. Real health comes when you step outside this reactive industrial system and start trusting your own biology. No one is more qualified to lead your healing than you. All right. We really need to hear this in our culture, do we not? We do. You're powerful. You can heal. You've got this. Let me show you how. Okay. Imagine not fearing aging or illness. Aging is, first of all, time in general is made up. We made it up so we can stay organized. Okay. It's a good system so that we're here on time for this class. We make it to our life on time. We show up. We need schedules. We need the calendar. We need the weekday. We need that, but we made it up. And we allow ourselves to believe that this calendar that we've made up ages us. It does not. It's the longer you go without tending to your pH. It's the longer you go without getting all 92 vitamins, minerals, and amino acids that you need every day, right? It's the longer you go staying angry and letting the biochemistry of anger, resentment, frustration, stress, lack, limitation, all of those things inform a biochemistry. And that the longer we go in those chemicals, then the more we see ourselves deteriorate. Okay, we don't need to just age like everyone thinks. Okay. Also, it's always done unto us as we believe, right? We're always creating what we're conscious of being, right? So if we're conscious of the idea that we're like getting older, I hear that so many times from people like, oh, I've got old knees. Okay, you don't have old knees, you have inflammation, probably because you're drinking alcohol every day, which is totally a poison. And maybe too much sugar, maybe more sugar than your body really wants to have every day. That'll do it. Maybe not drinking enough water, maybe eating too much meat. There's a lot of lactic acid. It makes the body tight and like does this. So not enough fruits and vegetables to alkalize and open up and reduce inflammation. So that's what it is. It's not quote like old knees, right? So imagine taking your body back. Like you don't need meds. Meds are so acidic. Meds will keep you on meds. Like if you're taking meds for anything, I'm not saying go off meds because that needs to happen maybe incrementally, like over time. Once you're healing the underlying, root causes, we need to just address the root causes until we eliminate even the need for meds, right? That's how we handle it. We address the root cause until there's no need for meds anymore. But meds will always keep your body acidic. And they will always create a disconnect between your body's natural intelligence because you're turning off the sign and the sign and the symptom, which the symptom is how the body heals itself. So that's really important to understand. A lot of people don't get that. Okay, does it make sense? Does that make sense? Are you getting it? Are you understanding? So imagine how good it feels to have supple joints and live pain-free, energetic, and connected to your self-healing design. So I love this image because it's how it feels, right? When you've tried meditation and affirmation, acupuncture and acupressure, and exercising and visualizing and prayer and journaling, right? You've tried all these things, right? Maybe you're on medications or tried medications. Maybe you've tried psychedelics. Maybe you've like tried different diets and you've tried just strengthening your willpower. And all of these things feel like they're pulling at you. Like you have 5 kids, right? It's like, mom, 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 right? Like they're just pulling at you to try them. But here's the thing. It's not about the practice. It's about the state of the person doing the practice. So what is your state of being when you're meditating? Are you sitting there like trying to feel healthy while you really just feel stuck, blocked, stagnant? So how can we adjust the beingness? Okay, that's what we're going to talk about. So our ability to heal is limited by our vocabulary. Okay, does your vocabulary lack words powerful enough to let you heal and thrive? So, you may have heard the story about the Indians on the shore when Columbus came with these boats that they couldn't even see the boats because they had never seen anything like that. Structures on water moving toward they could not see. They saw the waves moving. They were like, "What? Why are the why are the waves coming in like this? What's happening?" It didn't even register because they didn't have language for it. They didn't have any concept of boats. And that's true with everything. When we don't have language for something, it just doesn't exist for us. So a healing vocabulary is required for healing. You need to know how powerful you are. So how we think, how we construct our thoughts, how we speak, the thoughts we dwell in, all create disease or wellness. And the best news ever is that you're in control of all of that. It's the best news ever. So introducing quantum healing and quantum thriving. These are words that you can use to understand your quantum nature of like, you can actually change things quickly. You don't have to function matter to matter. You can change things on a quantum level. We're going to be talking about how to do that. So when I was 8, does this make sense? Are you getting this? Like, does this resonate? Do we understand that there's something beyond what we've ever known was possible? What we ever were taught or programmed in our culture? We're just living like all these programs, right? So there's a new program. There's a new reality that you can become aware of and tap into and live if only like you understand it, which is why you're here, right? So when I was 18 years old, I said no to a hideous virus. I was not going to live my entire life with a health problem. This doctor's giving me this diagnosis. I said, nope, 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 nope. I knew because I read Dr. Caroline Northrup's book and Christiane Northrup and Caroline Mace's book, Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom. Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom is Dr. Christiane Northrup. And the book I read, Caroline Mace, is The Spirit of Anatomy. That was it. Oh my God, these books powerfully changed my life. And that's why I am a writer now. The way that a book can change your life is profound. I mean, getting new ideas, the way that shifts everything is profound. So because I had read those books, I knew that my psychology creates my biology. I knew that my body is a God technology. So when the doctor told me I would have exceedingly irritating symptoms my entire life, that I would need to take medication for the rest of my life, no, I knew that was not for me. And what's really great to realize here is that the doctor was incorrect. The doctor was incorrect. All right. I never had another symptom of that virus ever again. That was 30 years ago. I've gotten biofeedback sessions that read everything in the body. The virus does not exist in my body. So I invested in my health. I studied. I learned. Okay. I bothered to understand how my body works so that I would never have to experience a virus taking hold of my body. The virus is not me. That's not me. I don't want that in my body. So I was bold enough because I had studied and learned that I could be bold like that, right? Like that's the difference. And that's why you're here, because you want to be awakened to what's really possible for you. But there are multi-trillion-dollar systems in place to make sure that you don't know that that's really possible for you. Okay, but you're here and you're learning, and that's a game changer. That's a life changer. Okay. I learned that I can command my health and that I am in relationship with my body. We're in relationship with our bodies. We can talk to, nourish, comfort, call into being the body that we desire, the body that we claim. Look, there's no reason why you feel like you want health, vitality, strength, sexiness, whatever it is. There's no reason that you feel like you want that if you're not meant to have it. The feeling of like who you know you really are, that's really you. It's not like, oh, I feel like this is really me, but that's not really. I can't really get there. I've been 50 pounds overweight almost my whole adult life, whatever it is, whatever it is. What your consciousness is calling forward is for you. It is for you. Claim it, own it. All you have to do is shift in consciousness. Whew, you'll be surprised how the weight just falls off. You'll be surprised how the diagnosis disappears, how the tumor goes away, how the psoriasis disappears, how the chronic fatigue vanishes, how the Hashimoto's disappears, how the Epstein-Barr disappears. I've had clients with all of those things, and all of them have disappeared. Because why? They belong to the old you, and you're stepping into the new you and claiming the truth of you. Okay? So this is how I discovered the self-healing design, and this is what I teach in my programs and the principal programs. You learn your stem cell activation. How do you activate healthy stem cells to regenerate optimally? You learn about your unconditional self-love. Oh my gosh, why isn't any doctor telling you the amazing healing power of your self-love? Not only is the biochemistry changing in your body right this moment as you contemplate self-love, like if you just right now take a breath in, just breathe for me. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I deeply and completely love and accept every cell of my body. Every cell of my body, I honor you. Every cell of my body, your intelligence, and I love you. And I honor the intelligence that each one of my cells is right now. That very moment, you're adjusting your biochemistry. You're shifting into oxytocin, dopamine. You're creating the chemicals of regeneration right here, right now, as you do that. That's incredible. But that's never talked about in medicine. No, take a pill, be more acidic. Unconditional self-love is huge. And you know what? Unconditional forgiveness, also huge. Big universities, big institutions have spent millions and millions of dollars studying forgiveness. And what have they learned? Forgiveness. Woo! How powerful it is to forgive. Unconditional forgiveness improves digestion, improves immune function, improves endocrine function, improves skin, of course, because your endocrine function and your digestive system have been improved. So much, I mean, I could list on and on and on. Helps everything, helps the heart, cardiovascular health is improved when we learn how to truly forgive and forget and choose again. Building immunity and detoxification and oxygenation, all of these things help alkalinity, which is the base of truly regenerating yourself. And that's what I teach in my principles program. So it's time to be your own doctor. So globally, the World Health Organization reports that more than 3 million deaths annually result from medical errors worldwide. Yeah. What? Yeah. Okay. In a 2016 Johns Hopkins study, 250,000 deaths per year in the US were due to medical errors. So that's in the US alone. So a more recent US study on diagnostic error suggested that 371,000 deaths attributed to diagnostic errors plus permanent disability effects. So my nephew, who lives in Estonia, he's 10 years old, same age as my daughter. A child in his class a couple weeks ago went in for a surgery and died in the surgery. Now, I don't know the details of that, but what I do know, it certainly does sound like that could have been a medical error. She wasn't terminal when she went in. Very, very sad. We need to know that our body is capable of correcting every imbalance that we experience. We need to know this and stop outsourcing our bodies to, frankly, a institution or a office or a doctor that has a lot to gain from our procedure. Oh, let's do this surgery and charge your insurance $150,000 for it. Well, we forget, it seems so It seems so corrupt that we would never even consider it, that the suggestions that are being made by our doctor is based on their income from it. We don't even consider that because it seems so unethical. Okay, I was certainly not suggesting that every single doctor is unethical. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not saying that. But are there doctors that are unethical? And they're like, oh, I really do want a $10 million house. All I have to do is, you know, do a few surgeries a month. And by next year, I've got this new property that I want or whatever. Now, this is not just like hearsay, I'm making this up. Didn't you guys hear in the news a few months ago how there was a doctor that was arrested for giving over 530 people chemotherapy treatments that did not have cancer? And several of them died from the treatments. Like I always say in allopathic medicine, patients die from the treatment, not from the disease. Because if you give a healthy person doses of poison, which is what chemotherapy is, the likelihood that they'll get sick is pretty great. Okay, why are we giving sick people poison? That doesn't make any sense. With a culture that's sicker and heavier than ever, and medical aid and insurance programs crumbling like they are, while exorbitant medical billing has been normalized, we need a new way. Self-care is the medicine of the future. You guys are here, you guys are learning it. It's a game changer. It's a life changer. If you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. That's a great Nikola Tesla gave us that. And your body is a microcosm of the universe. So when it comes to your body, you need to think in terms of energy and frequency and vibration. Okay? I mean, the Rife machine was curing cancer almost 100% of the time 80 years ago. And what happened to that? It got removed. It's illegal. It's illegal. And Dr. Rife was considered a quack, how they were ever able to discredit a man and his invention that actually helped so many people is unbelievable to me. But smear campaigns, if you have enough money, you can create any campaign you want and see that millions of people are exposed to that. And if they didn't know any better. So it's like whenever there's like raise awareness for breast cancer, money for cure for this, we've known the cure for cancer forever, since Dr. Otto Warburg won the Nobel Prize in 1940 for discovering that oxygen cells for discovering that cells that have enough oxygen in them do not get cancer, and for discovering that cells that are cancerous have low oxygen and low acidity. He got a Nobel Prize for creating the correlation between oxygenation and alkalinity and cancer. If there's enough oxygen in the system, and if the system is alkaline enough, there's no cancer. We already know this. Why do we keep feeling the need to raise money for the cure for cancer? Why do we keep killing people with these treatments when we know that there's a better way? Okay. I learned what nobody is taught, that we are designed to heal and that we can consciously cultivate our upgrade. Okay. I learned the self-healing design. There's 7 protocols for optimal regeneration, AKA the fountain of vitality, right? You will transform from victim into victor. There's no victims. There's no victims. There's empowerment. If you're diagnosed with something, oh my God, that's the greatest invitation to learn your power. The greatest. So what's available but unknown to you? You guys maybe have heard this story before with the mice on the elephants, right? And each mouse is on a different part of the elephant and it's saying, no, the elephant's like this. The mouse that's on the trunk is like, no, it's like a hose. That's what an elephant's like. And the mouse that's on the elephant's foot's like, no, it's like a tree trunk. That's what it's like. And the mouse that's on the elephant's back's like, no, it's like a mountain. And the mouse that's on the elephant's ear is like, no, it's like a flag or a sail flipping in the wind. They all have these different ideas of what the elephant is based on where they are. And to me, medicine is like one of those mice. And the culture sees medicine through the eyes of one of those mice. Like we say, oh, medicine is going to the doctor and having the doctor tell you what pill to take, what surgery to have. Medicine is when you learn that something's wrong with your body and that you try to fix it with all this stuff. No. Another perspective is that, like I said, when you get a diagnosis of something or when you're having symptoms of low energy, weight gain, hot flashes, whatever it is, that's an invitation to go, okay, what is my body communicating with me? What do I need to shift? See, so much too is like we're not willing to listen to what comes forward. For instance, alcohol. I love so much that right now there's so many people on social media talking about how poisonous alcohol is, how it's crazy that we've normalized the substance that literally is so poisonous for us, and that most people don't put the correlation between alcohol and cancer. It's like if you're having alcohol several times a week, even if it's just one glass, see, because those studies of like red wine's good for you because of resveratrol, it's like, please just eat the grapes. Like that's not like wine is always going to be acidic. Grapes are very alkaline. Wine is alcohol, which is toxic to the liver, which is toxic to the blood, toxic to everything. And when you drink, your body has to process the alcohol out before it does anything else. Because it's like, poison, get it out, get it out, get it out. So it's like, process that out. Well, it's not regenerating. It's not metabolizing fats. It's like people gain weight, they think it's beer belly because of like the carbs in beer, when a lot of the times it's because their body's just processing out all the alcohol. It doesn't have time to metabolize fats and sugars the way that it should. So everyone around you, unless you're around people that are really tuned into this, think that you have to listen to your doctor. And even like I have to put disclaimers on everything that's like, this isn't medical advice, consult your doctor before da 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 da, because our whole system is set up of like, you don't get to choose. You need to ask your doctor. That's how it's all set up. That's BS. I'm calling that out because your doctor doesn't know your self-healing design. Why do I want to listen to him? I mean, maybe you have a great doctor. It's possible. I have a friend that has a great doctor, and this doctor has helped her so much with things like telling her to, practice intermittent fasting and help. So I'm not saying so it's like there are people that have excellent relationships with their doctor, and I think that's great. Okay. So I don't want to inflame anyone that's like, I love my doctor. Because frankly, my kids have an amazing, um, she's actually um, God, now I'm losing the word, osteopath. And she's amazing because she aligns, but they also she treats the kids with flower essences and homeopathy. And so I've learned from her, so I know what that's like when you're like, oh, I love my doctor, that's great. So if you have a great doctor, that's awesome. You should find a great doctor, a doctor that knows your self-healing design, that knows when you have a diagnosis to say, okay, let's look at your lifestyle. Let's look at, are you getting enough sleep? What are you doing for the 3 hours before sleep to make sure that in your sleep, you're really regenerating and restoring? Because if you're watching TV or eating or having alcohol or any of these things, uh, within 3 hours before you're going to sleep, then you're not regenerating as well as you could be. And all of the things that we can talk about to make sure that your body's in the optimal state of regeneration. Most doctors are not going through that with you. They're just prescribing you something. Okay, I spent 20 years and at least $150,000 learning and deeply understanding the self-healing design. But because you're here today, you get it the easy way, okay? Your energy matters more than ever. Your energy matters in your health, how you feel, how you're waking up, how excited you are, how motivated you are. And all these things you might be like, Dr. Blythe, I don't have anything to be excited about. I'm in the grind. Okay, let's change that. Let's look at everything and go, okay, well, what do you really love doing? Let's do that more every day. Let's find time to be in love with your life and to do more that you love. And to, no matter what you're doing, when you are doing the things that aren't awesome, like for me, it's like doing the dishes, picking up the kids' messes everywhere, doing like all that like mom work that's not like the fun with the kids. It's like folding their laundry, doing that, all of like that kind of stuff that like I really look forward to like taking off my plate at some point. But even when you're in those tasks, maybe it is your job. When you're in those tasks, just practice enjoyment. Just practice going, I feel the energy within me, and I'm grateful for that. And just tuning into the cells, like my cells are regenerating now, and I'm grateful for that. I just remembering in the moment that your energy matters always. Okay, so the 3 secrets of health and vitality, even though like we've covered so much already, but the main things that this class are about today. So the hidden design within your body that makes true healing possible, which we've talked a little bit about that. Your self-healing design. While healing isn't about willpower, it's about remembering how your cells were meant to work. Okay, secret 3, how you can still heal and feel amazing no matter your environment or influences. Okay, we're going to talk about how to deal with like family and friends and life that's not totally aligned with your vision for yourself and for your health. I know a bit about that. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. So secret 1, the hidden design within your body that makes true healing possible. Okay, so Matthew came to me after being treated by Western medicine for 2 decades. Okay. Excuse me. The sick care he was given for diabetes eventually landed him in total kidney failure. And when he came to me, he was on an anti-rejection medication. Do you know what that is? That's a medication to keep your immune system down, to keep your immune system low. Because if your immune system was strong, it would fight the kidney replacement. It would fight the kidney that was put in because it's a foreign body. So you have to keep the immune system down. So this is the thing. When people, okay, if he would have come to me 2 decades ago with diabetes, we would have cleaned it up. We would have fixed it. It's a lie if you believe that you can't correct diabetes, type 1 or type 2. You can correct it. Hundreds of thousands of people have corrected it. So why wasn't his doctor telling him, lifestyle, you can't drink soda. That's an assault to the body, to the kidneys. The kidneys hate that. You can't have salty popcorn, salty chips. You can't eat fast food. You can't have cooked oils from and disgusting chemicals from fast food. The kidneys can't process that. They don't want that. You can't have candy. What candy? No, nobody should be eating candy, right? So they weren't and you can't be stressing. You need to drink water. You need to move the body. You need to sweat. You need to perfuse the kidneys. You need to walk fast. All the things that we can do to correct diabetes. He was not cared for in that way. He was just given pills to the point that he went into kidney failure, and then they had to give him a new kidney, and then he's given pills so that his immune system stays down. And do you think when he was suggested that he have well, at the point of kidney failure, it's not, you don't really have an option. You need to have a transplant at that point, right? But do you think that they were like, well, you're going to have this transplant, and then you're going to have to be on this anti-rejection medication your whole life? You don't know going into that what if he knew 20 years ago, look, if you don't change your diet, you're going to end up having kidney failure, having a kidney transplant, and then being on anti-rejection medication for the rest of your life. And then once you're suppressing your immune system, pneumonia, viruses, that's the life you live. So what doctors don't know hurts you. Because this man, frankly, I couldn't even help him because he would not go off the anti-rejection medicine. I said, we want to wean it off, support your body, but he doesn't want to support his body. He doesn't want to build his immune system because he thinks he has to keep his immune system low. That's a terrible place to be. When you can't use the power of your body and you got to keep yourself sick, medicine, modern medicine, put him there, and it should never have happened. All right, the core steps of secret number one: recognition, removal, realignment. Let me tell you what that means. Step one, recognition. You were designed to heal. That's what you need to know. No one that knows that they're designed to heal is going to put themselves through chemical surgery, pills, all of that when they know that their body's designed to heal. Okay. So you develop a relationship with your body. It's not just like, okay, my body is designed to heal. I see it cut before my eyes, it heals. You develop a relationship and you understand what are the outputs that you've been doing that have, or what are the inputs that you've been doing that have created this output? And you start to see it's a relationship that you have with your body. So many of you may know this. This is Dr. Masaru Emoto. I love him. He did this experiment where he cryogenically froze water crystals after he had imbued them with words, music, a vibration of some kind. And he would say, I love you, thank you, I admire you, you're a blessing. Or he would say, I hate you, you fool. And he would see how the water crystals changed based on the vibration that he put into them. The spoken word, the song, even the intention, even the intention. And this is why his self-published book was a mega, 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 mega bestseller throughout the entire world, because people realized, oh my God, my intentions actually are something. The water reads my intentions, and my body is made of between 75 to 95% water, depending on how hydrated you are. So your body is reading your intentions. So these are some of the water crystals you can see. Thank you, and wisdom, and truth. Oh, eternal. I love you. Peace. Look at how beautiful the water crystals are. What's particularly interesting, if you draw your attention to the bottom two on the right side, polluted water before prayer, polluted water after prayer. So right here, right now, just a prayer over your body. Body, I love you. Thank you, body. I love you, body. Body, thank you for bringing me to this point. Thank you for regenerating for me always optimally. Thank you for shining your bright light. Thank you, mitochondria, for creating energy in my body. Thank you, thank you, thank you, body, for digesting food and excreting hormones and engaging my immune system when necessary. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the intelligence of every cell in my body. When you do that right now, the waters of your body are changing. This is powerful information. Okay? Powerful information. Step two, removal. Healing is blocked by toxins, stress, and limiting beliefs. All right. The real prevention is removal, is detoxification. Okay, people will get invasive procedures like colonoscopies and mammograms and MRIs, which are radiation, and they'll have dyes put into them and they'll have biopsies, but this is not prevention. It's not prevention. Detox is prevention. And all these scans, all these tests, they're sold to us as prevention because, of course, the establishment charges your insurance $5,000 for that scan, $10,000 for that test, $25,000 for that test. It's such a racket. It's so absurd. But what's more absurd is that we think that we need to have a colonoscopy to know if our colon's healthy. Well, guess what? If you're drinking a lot of alcohol, if you're eating crap food, if you're doing all those things, your colon's not healthy. It doesn't have the right microflora that you need. So you know your colon's not healthy based on what you're doing. So just change what you're doing. You don't need to have these invasive procedures to tell you if you have polyps or not. You just change your lifestyle. Make sure you're drinking more water. Make sure you're eating a lot of fruits and vegetables so that you get the real nourishment. Now, of course, if you want to have a colonoscopy, of course, have a colonoscopy, but don't say it's prevention because a test is not prevention. Prevention is really caring for your colon. Okay. That's what prevention is. They go, oh, the test is prevention because if you get the test, then you know, oh, I have this, I have this. That didn't prevent it. If you have it, then you have it. Well, prevents it from getting worse. Okay. At that point that you know that you have something and you're trying to prevent it from getting worse, what's your choice then? To have some lifestyle changes and to correct the imbalance is the best choice, but you're going to do that anyway. So why don't you just do that instead of having invasive procedures, particularly the mammogram? The mammogram, if a woman has this trauma to the breast, this pressing, this squishing, this trauma to the breast, and the radiation, if a woman has those for 20 years, because now it's like, oh, by the age of 40, I think it used to be by 50. Now it's by the age of 40. Of course, they want 10 more years of charging you for that. And if they get 10 more years of smashing your breast and irradiating you, you're going to be much more likely to have breast cancer. Okay, you are. You're much more likely if you've allowed your breast tissue to be traumatized and irradiated. There's no need for that. There's no need for that. Detox the breast. That's real prevention. Breast massage to move the blood and oxygen around. Fresh oxygen is what gives your breasts health. Moving the breasts around and breast massage detoxifies them, discharges the lymph. That's prevention. Okay, we got to change it. We've got to understand these things. My friend, I'll just tell you this quick story. A very good friend of mine, she went in and she had a mammogram and it was extremely painful. They clamped her for like 45 minutes. After that, she had such breast pain for days and days. She went back in, she's like, I'm having so much pain. She got the result. Because she's having so much pain, she's like in fear. And the result was so clever. Precancerous, they tell her. And they suggest to her that she gets a double mastectomy for prevention. Okay. Because her mother had breast cancer. Okay. So I tell her, so at this time, when this is happening, I'm pregnant with my second child. And if any of you have been pregnant and had that sleep insomnia where you like, or, you know, that like pregnancy insomnia where you can't like really sleep very well at night. So for a couple of weeks, I was up at night just thinking about her going to have a double mastectomy as prevention. And I just got to the point where I was like, I have to say something. I'm going to be remiss if I don't say something. So we communicate back and forth with Marco Polo audios. And so I send her a message and I'm like, look, you know, the thing is we were good friends, but she really didn't know what I do. So it's like she told me, you know, about all of this, but she didn't really know how I could help her. And because we really had just met, she was the girlfriend of a very good friend of ours. And so I let her know, I'm like, listen, like I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that cancer is a disease of acidity and toxicity. So by removing the tissue, you're not removing any chance of getting the disease. It'll just manifest in a different tissue, number one. Number two, to prevent that, all you have to do is get alkaline. You don't have to go through all of that. Like, let's just correct the acidity and toxicity, number one. But also, you don't have cancer. So, let's look at that. Like, what is this like precancerous? No. Number two, because your mother had it, hereditary thing. I let her know that does not matter. You know, just like we talked about earlier in this class. And you know, I said, look, that it's really, I feel like it's like really a bad idea for you to do that. And she actually had the doctor that Angelina Jolie had in Beverly Hills here. And it was like, she was sort of like excited about that. And when Angelina Jolie did that, I was so sad. I cried for her. I was like, how does she not have better people on her team to tell her that she does not need to do that? I love her so much. I really couldn't believe. And then there's all these articles written about like, oh, this is so great to take your breasts off. She's so brave to do this for prevention. I'm like, women, we need to honor our bodies. This is not like a so brave moment. This is like you don't actually know what's available to you moment. And it's baffling that someone of her caliber wouldn't have better people around her telling her that she didn't need to do that because it's extremely traumatic for the body to do something like that. So, anyway, back to my friend. So, I told her over this message. So, she gets back to me and she was very upset with me because she had made her mind to do this and she did not appreciate what I had to say. She was very respectful, but and I felt really bad. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. I'm so sorry. Okay. So I saw her at her house 2 weeks after her surgery. Her boyfriend had a party and at her house. She would not have had a party 2 weeks after this surgery. Um, but so I saw her and she said she was doing great. She was like, oh, I only had to take medication for 2 days. No, I'm feeling great. Oh, the other part of it too is that she's an aerial artist. So, the aerial silks and the rings and the whole thing. And I was like, oh, you're gonna have so much pain. You're not gonna be able to do your aerial work for like 6 months or a year. You're gonna have so much pain. And she was telling me at the party, like, oh, I'll be able to get back to my silks in a couple weeks. I was like, wow, that's awesome. I'm so happy to hear this. I'm so sorry. Like, I was wrong. This was the right choice for you. Like, we can never presume to know what the right choice for anyone else is. And that was, clearly the right choice for you. I love you so much. Like, way to rock that. So, about 3 months later, she calls me and says, Blythe, you were totally right. I should never have done that. I have been so sick since the transplant. Her body was rejecting the transplant breasts. And she was, I mean, just sick, just so sick, so sick, so sick. She was like, and her intuition was like, I got to get these things out of me. Like she knew, like maybe her doctors were telling her, like, oh, wait a few more months for the body to, you know, accept it, I suppose, or whatever it was. This is the thing. She was so healthy that her body rejected the implants even more because her immune system was so high. She did have such a good diet. She was super fit. She is super fit. Um, so her body was even so much more so. Her immune system was so high that she was rejecting it so much more. And she was so sick. I have to get these out. So then she had to go for yet a third surgery now, because first was the removal, next was the implants. Now she's going to get the explant surgery. So she had to go in for another surgery. And during this surgery, they couldn't save her nipples. So she came out of that surgery with what's called a flat closure, which looks really terrifying. I mean, it's no nipple and it's just like this cross section. I mean, it's it's tough to look at that. So I share this with you because in the beginning of that, she was not told the trajectory of what could end up happening to her. Well, if you do this and this happens and this could happen and this could happen. She never thought on the other side of it, she would end up with flat closure, no nipples, and like the scars, you know. She lost her relationship. She lost her house. So many things. She moved away out of Los Angeles entirely. So I'm not saying that all of that necessarily happened because of that, but all of these surgeries, all this, it was too much on this new relationship that she had. And that person already had a lot going on for himself with another whole thing. It was too much. And my point is that when we don't listen to our body, when we think we're just going to cut it off, do something else, instead of really look in and communicate with our body and heal it from within, nothing good comes of that. Okay. And it's sad. Nothing good comes of it. I didn't want to be right, but nothing good comes of that. So step 3, realignment. Once you remove interference, your body naturally regenerates. It's easy. It's like, oh, it's amazing how it works, really. When you take out the glyphosate, when you take out all this stuff from your body that's keeping your body from healing, our bodies are amazing. We're a God technology. We're amazing. So Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's one of my favorite teachers, you might be familiar with his work. He tells the story of a 72-year-old woman with severe Parkinson's symptoms. She was drooling. She couldn't stand up on her own. She couldn't speak correctly. She couldn't chew or and swallow correctly. It was very difficult. Can you imagine not being able to like chew and swallow correctly? She reversed all of these symptoms after 4 hours in the field, in the quantum field. That's what we teach you how to enter and live from in the Principles program. Stories like this are not at all unusual in the space, in Joe Dispenza's workshop, in Greg Braden's workshop, in Bruce Lipton's workshop, and all of these amazing teachers that are teaching this work of how to connect to the field and correct everything. See, we're not even if you're like, what is she talking about the field? It's so great that you're here. It's so great that we're learning this together because, or that you're learning this because that we're here together because you don't get this in the world unless you know to seek it out. Because your doctor's not going to tell you, oh, enter the field and everything corrects, because the doctor doesn't even know. Okay. Oops. So Joe Dispenza, he began this amazing work that he does because he was hit by a truck in a bicycle race and his back was broken and he was in a full body cast laying face down, told he would never walk again. And he was supposed to have this herringbone surgery. He was a chiropractor, and so he knew about the surgery and he knew about his spine. And he even says, when he retells the story, he says that he might have even recommended that surgery for someone else in his own position, but he was not willing to have a surgery that would render him in pain his whole life with bolts in his back. He was like, well, I'm lying here face down in a full body cast. I have nothing else to do but to focus on my spine and to see if my mind can heal it. And because he was so aware of his spine, being a chiropractor, he was able to really tune in and consciously correct his spine. And within something extraordinary, like 8 weeks, it was like between 8 and 12 weeks, he went back to work in his chiropractic office, walking again, normal. Astounding. Astounding. And it took so much courage for him to do that because when he walked out of the hospital or when he was rolled out of the hospital by his family that was supporting him in doing that, oh, you can believe the doctors were like, you're crazy. If you're not getting the surgery, you're crazy. As they all will say, if you don't listen to what they do, you're crazy. Okay, so who this works for? People ready to shift from reacting to creating their life experience. People who know there's more to health than diet and exercise alone. People willing to slow down and breathe deeply and reconnect to their true nature. Your true nature is so amazing. And we're so blocked off from it in our culture. It's weird. People ready to detox, not just their bodies, but their thoughts, their emotions, their environments. Get on the next level, friends. Does that make sense? People seeking lasting vitality through alignment, not willpower. Doesn't that sound good? People ready to embody their highest potential and become an example of radiant living. Doesn't that sound good? All right. Connect deeper with your genius. Okay. So to recap, secret one, recognition, removal, realignment. Yeah, I know it's a lot. And I'm not, if you work with me, I make this easy. I make this fit into your lifestyle. It might seem like a lot, but it's really not. It's a matter of finding new flow in the way that you do things. Okay. And I honestly make this very streamlined for you. Okay. So why healing isn't about willpower, it's about remembering how your cells were meant to work. Healing doesn't require extreme discipline. It requires trusting your body's intelligence. So the core steps of secret number 2 are identity shift, inner permission, and integration. So when I was 22, I was a lead in a small Lionsgate film. And so we were scheduled to shoot an overnight scene, so working night hours overnight, running through the forest. So we were scheduled to shoot 4 nights of me running through the woods. Okay. So at the end of the first night, which is about 5 a.m., I rolled my ankle, I twisted my ankle, I heard it pop. It hurt so bad. It was instantly swollen and black and blue. The set medic rushed over, was like, we got to take you to the hospital. And I was like, nope, 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 because I saw the look on the director's face. Utter fear. Oh my God, how is this going to affect the next several days? The very first thing I learned as an actress was actors don't get sick. You don't get sick. You're booked on something, you show up, it doesn't matter. There are way too many people and way too much money set for that day where you're supposed to be there. So actors do not get sick. Okay. So, oh my God, my ankle cannot be broken right now. It can't be sprained. It can't be anything. I need to run through these woods for the next 3 nights. So even though the stat medic was like, Blythe, we're taking you to ER. I'm like, no, you're not. Take me to the house that they had rented for the cast. So they took me there, carried me into my bedroom. I laid on my bed and I just saw my ankle. And I just said my ankle as well. 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 And I saw myself waking up the next morning, which would have been about like 2 p.m. later that day. Ready to run. Like I saw myself going, I'm going to sleep. I saw light coming in, healing my ankle. I saw myself getting up, going into the makeup chair, being ready to run. And the next day and the next day, I just saw the shoot going exactly as planned. And what do you think happened? Sure enough, when I woke up, and by the way, I remember this like it was yesterday. All through my sleep, I had the consciousness going of my ankle as well, my ankle as well, my ankle as well. Like I'd never like left my thought even while I was sleeping. My ankle as well, my ankle as well, my ankle as well. I am well. I am strong. I can run. I'm running. I'm running. So when I woke up, my ankle was completely healed. And it was astonishing, but I also completely expected it because I was absolutely going to go to work that day. Like I was absolutely not going to let down the entire production. And boy, were they happy about it that they didn't have to scramble because rescheduling on feature films is so hard. It's harder than you can imagine. And they didn't have to. And I felt really good about that. So, step one, identity shift. Stop seeing yourself as broken and start seeing yourself as whole. That's exactly what I did when I got injured. I was like, nope, nope, nope. That's exactly what I did when I was diagnosed with that virus, too. Nope. I stepped into that identity of wellness, of thriving. And I've done it 100 times since then. We are always creating what we are conscious of being, always, which is why when someone gets a diagnosis and they start putting their consciousness on the fact that they're sick, they get sicker. If you get a diagnosis, put no consciousness to it. Put the consciousness of, I'm well, I'm thriving. And that's not just like scraping it under the rug so I don't look at it. It's embodying a new vibration because the vibration that you embody is the one that you'll express. Step two, inner permission. Healing begins when you believe you deserve to thrive. So many clients that I've worked with, it's like they don't really give themselves permission to live their best life. It's like it's like there's a residual sense that they're like not allowed to really be their best, or if they're best, it's going to step on someone else's toes. If they shine too bright, they make others uncomfortable. Well, and 100 different nuances of that. It's going around. It's in the collective consciousness because when we grow up in traditional school environments or family environments where we're not really allowed to be excellent or to be better at something than anyone else, if we're pitted against one another or like we're made to believe that we can't fully be our authentic self and still fit in, That's where all of that come from. And it's not, it's not conscious. It's not, none of us are going around consciously thinking that, I can't be my healthiest, happiest version of self. No, it's an unconscious residual from childhood. And so we just have to step in and give ourselves permission, like, yeah, I can talk to myself. I can thrive by conscious direction. Yeah, that's possible for me. So, step three, integration. Small aligned actions create momentum, not forcing, but flowing. Okay. Yay, Eric. It's one of my clients. I'm so proud of him. So, Eric owns architecture firms in many different cities, a couple different cities. And, his life, it was a lot of like wining and dining for many years, right? It's like I took a course called Diseases of Affluence. And it's the scotch and the steak and the buttery lobster truffle mac and cheese and like all this stuff, wining and dining. And it started to show up in symptoms of inflammation, aches, pains, not feeling awesome, the whole nine. He started working with me. He took action on all that. I said, look, you have it easy if you're eating in restaurants all the time. Great. Eat at the restaurants that have amazing salads. Don't get a scotch, get a juice. Like go to these like amazing, vegan places. And, not that you have to be vegan, but just to get a lot of vegetables. And, I'm like, just go to the places that you can order a green juice and you can order an amazing salad with beets and pine nuts and all these great things because not all of us can eat out all the time, right? So I'm like, you've got it great. So do that. And he took action and he had amazing results. Within 3 months, he lost 40 pounds. And I mean, it changes everything. I mean, you feel different, your body moves different because you're not, you don't have all this stuck lactic acid and all the acidic symptoms of too much alcohol and all of the symptoms from low grade acidity, which weaken our eyesight, weaken our teeth, weaken our joint mobility and flexibility. I mean, there's just so many symptoms to low grade acidity in the body. Okay, recap secret two. Identity shift. Stop seeing yourself as broken and start seeing yourself as whole. Inner permission. Healing begins when you believe you deserve to thrive. And integration. Small aligned actions create momentum, not forcing, but flowing. Secret number three, how you can still heal and feel amazing no matter your environment or your influences. So the core steps are centering, resilience, and influence. I'll tell you what I mean by that. So you don't need the world around you to change. Your design adapts and leads. So for the last 2 decades, my sister has been making fun of me. Okay. My sister is 18 months older than me, but she had kids in her early 20s. And I started having kids in my late 30s and early 40s. And so even though she's only 18 months older than me, her kids are in their 20s. My kids are little. And, you know, when her kids were little and I would visit all the time, she lives in Arizona, I live in California. I would visit all the time, like several times a year. And she would always make fun of me, like, oh, Blythe, when you have kids, they're going to have wheatgrass, birthday cakes. This is a picture of my son when he's 1. He had a watermelon birthday cake. And we were FaceTiming with my family on his birthday. And my sister was like, oh, give him a cupcake. That's ridiculous. But what's interesting is that for the last few times I've seen my sister, the first thing she says to me is, why don't you have any wrinkles? And just like that. So like, why don't you have any wrinkles? Like she's mad at me that I don't have wrinkles and she has wrinkles. And it's like, probably because for the reasons that you've been making fun of me for the last 2 decades, like green juice, chia seeds, like, she's wrinkles because she's been smoking cigarettes and drinking beer and Pepsi. And I've been drinking kale juice and meditating. It's like there's a difference. There's a difference. There is a very big difference in how our cells regenerate when you live 2 different lifestyles. Okay? So, and like, I hate to kind of say this, but there's been a lot of like shaming me in my family, like subtly, but it's like health shaming, really? Like, really? It's like, oh, Blythe, just live a little, or, you know, I don't, I don't see how live a little. I'm living a lot. You know what I mean? It's like this sense of like, oh, to really live, you need to drink, or oh, to really live, you need to like eat cake at night, or oh, you really, I mean, it's just so silly how people think and how people will judge others for making choices that lend to their excellence. Because for some people, they don't want to live in their excellence. And so anybody around them that is feels threatening to them, but it's not. They, she can live however she wants. Like, bless her heart, I pray for her. But if I wasn't so strong in myself, like would I let my older sister influence me to do things that I don't want to do? She has actually before and my late teens, you know? Don't let people do that to you. Peer pressure. Okay. Sibling pressure. Please, right? You stay centered in your own knowingness. Okay. So step one is centering, is anchor in your self-healing design, not others' opinions. Okay. If someone wants to roll their eyes at you because you're not drinking or because you're not eating that certain thing, people don't like when you don't want to eat what they've made. And I get that. Like, you don't want to be rude. I get that. There's a nuance there. You don't want to be the one that's showing up like, oh, I can't eat that. I can't eat that. I can't eat that. The way I handle it is whenever I go to a gathering, I take a big kale salad and like something else that I want to eat, like baked acorn squash or so. Like, I always just bring what I want to eat. And then I'm not, and maybe I have a little bit of things, but we have to be really careful that we're not just allowing other people's opinion to truly affect what we put inside of our bodies. Okay. Step two, resilience. Learn to thrive in imperfect environments. Okay. Resilience. We learn to thrive. We know that we're up against it sometimes, and we get strong enough in ourselves that it doesn't bother us at all. That's really important. Influence. Your vitality becomes contagious. Others shift because of your example. So the tide raises all ships. I love this. Sarah got her office to switch to fresh pressed juice delivery instead of pastries. One of my clients, she was like, man, we always have like donuts. We always like, the company's always like buying pastries. I said, why don't you just ask them to get like a creation juice delivery or something like that instead? She was like, all right, I'm going to ask. And they did. And of course, the whole office feels so much more like actually energized, right? It's not like a sugar boost. It's like actual nourishment boost. It makes such a difference. So if you just did these three secrets, do you think you could have success returning to your fully thriving self? It's a lot. I can help you make sense of all of this. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Excuse me. Would it be okay if I shared with you how I can help? Okay, this is the Principles program. Okay, here's what you're going to get when you invest in yourself today. Okay, is all this making sense, by the way? Are we understanding how there is another level of medicine that's not being shared with you? Do you get that? And how this level actually ignites you and regenerates you and doesn't keep you on this like sick care model. Okay. So the Principles program, you're going to learn all of these things: stem cell activation, oxygenation, detoxification, building the immunity, unconditional forgiveness, unconditional self-love. These are very important. They all contribute to alkalinity, which changes everything, everything, everything. When you understand how your cells regenerate optimally, you realize you don't have to regenerate or degenerate like everyone thinks. Okay. What you'll be able to do: you'll be able to create healing. You'll be able to dissolve pain. You'll be able to increase immunity. You'll be able to dissolve self-sabotage. You'll be able to forgive yourself and others. You'll be able to increase your energy. You'll be able to increase your strength and mobility. You'll be able to up level your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. You'll be able to fall in love with life again because life is so good when you're working at energy to matter. When you're working matter to matter, it's so hard, but that's what we teach you in quantum healing and quantum thriving. That's what it's all about. Stay sexy, baby. You want to stay sexy. You want to be in your creative power, okay? And you want to play again. Okay, we got to play, friends, right? Makes sense? Are you getting that? We have to play. We have to be in the energy of play to stay youthful. And this is all science-backed systems for optimal regeneration. So therapy isn't necessary when you can just rewire your brain, focusing on creation instead of past pain. The work that we do here, it's physical, it's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual. It rewires your brain. Where therapy, oftentimes, it's you actually continue to beat the drum, so to speak, of the problem, continuing to wire the problem, continuing to wire the problem, continuing to wire the problem. That's never going to solve the problem. When you rewire and you focus on yes, the yeses, the what do I want to create, the what do I love right now, the all of that, that's what changes your brain. Not focusing on what your parents did to you or all of that. Okay. We need to forgive that. We teach you how. And then it's focusing on creation. Okay. So, what you'll be able to replace: expensive medical bills, medications, side effects, doctor visits, anxiety, therapy bills, depression, second cause, the conditions that are connected to the past you. Worry about future illness. You'll be able to self-determine your health and vitality. It's such a good feeling, friends. Does that make sense? Does that make, like, are you getting how awesome that is? Like, are you really getting it? To be able to self-determine your health and vitality. I mean, frankly, I have too much energy for people sometimes. Like maybe even you are like, oh my God, this girl, she's got a lot. I do have a lot. And that's fantastic. I need to have a lot. I have a publishing company. I have a corporate wellness business. I have 2 kids. I have this business helping you. I'm an artist. I'm a writer. I've got a new book coming out. I'm so excited about. Talk to Yourselves. I, I wouldn't be able to create what I create in the world that helps thousands and thousands and thousands of people if I wasn't able to self-determine my health and vitality. If I would have believed the doctor 30 years ago that told me I had that virus, if I would have lived that path, I would look and be a completely different person. Okay? We have the choice. We have the choice. That's the best thing. Are you getting it? So I got a PhD. Cost me about 40 grand. I've had 2 decades of study with teachers for the last 150 years, like Neville Goddard, Florence Scovel Shinn, and many others. I've spent more than $50,000 in workshops and courses with the best minds in natural medicine and life creation, like Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, Vishen Lakhiani, and all the great teachers at Mind Valley, which I love so much. I got a certificate of nutrition from Cornell University. So I did all this so you don't have to. Isn't that awesome, right? Like I got all this information and now I've created a way to give it to you in the way that you can use it to change your life easily. So the Principles program is an 8-week training program plus 12 months of weekly group coaching. It's an $11,000 value. I'm not going to charge that. But it's amazing. 8 weeks of this live group training plus 12 months, a year. You have me for a year, weekly for a year. You have coaching. So, but what else do you need to make sure that you're successful? So we want to make sure that any dietary or lifestyle changes you're able to do it easily, that you're not resistant to things. And the way to help rewire your brain is through the inner architect, designing your subconscious for superconscious living audio series. So this is an audio series, we call them journeys, 5 journeys to superconscious mastery. Okay? These 5 immersive meditation journeys rewire the subconscious, unlock the superconscious, which means you just have to be aware of the superconscious to let it work for you. Okay? It's becoming aware of it. What is a superconscious? Exactly. We have it. We're in it. We have access to it. And it's all the information you could ever need or want in the world is there. and elevate your emotional architecture into coherence with your highest potential. So, who has tried affirmations and did not get the feedback that you expected? Right? It's because you're not feeling it. It's not had it like words are really powerful. They hold vibration. But if you're saying words while you're feeling the opposite, the feeling overrides the words. So we want to get you in the feeling place, because here's the thing, friends. It's so important. The feelings are the chemicals. The feelings create the biochemistry that regenerates you optimally. That's why stress creates illness, because it creates the biochemistry that disallows proper regeneration of your cells. So, what the inner architect does is it allows you to really get into the feeling place of anything and everything that you want to correct, change, create, whatever it is. Everything inside. So, journey 1 is a light body alignment meditation. Journey 2 is integrating the fragmented self. Journey 3 is the heart light activation. Journey 4 is embodying your ideal self. So huge. Journey 5 is repatterning identity, changing the feeling of I. Changing the feeling of I changes everything. And I cannot wait to go through that. Oh my gosh, I have hiccups now. I cannot wait to go through that with you. What was that hiccup telling me? That's so funny. So the combination of science and spirituality and the principles program made healing make sense for me. My joint pain and stiffness is gone, and my energy is better than it's been in decades. Thank you, Carol. Always so happy to hear when people send me feedback. So I didn't realize how powerful my thoughts and emotions were in creating health until this program. It's truly life-changing. Thank you, Mitchell. Mitchell took the direction and went for it and made incredible shifts. So I know this one's a little bit long, but I want to read it to you. This is so great. This is Laura. I put her Instagram handle on the bottom because she's an artist and you might want to follow her because she's an amazing singer-songwriter, pianist. So she says, all I can say is, wow, I've worked with tons of coaches and Blythe is among the most powerful you can find. She's the real deal. I have shifted in so many ways that I can't believe, and it's just been 2 months. I have learned how to command my body into healing and experienced it instantly. Even though I've taken my health into my own hands for over a decade now, I'm finally empowered enough where I don't feel I even need many natural supports like supplements or even treatments like acupuncture anymore. The cost I am saving by pausing these treatments far exceeds the cost of coaching with Blythe. I can't believe how simple yet profound the practices are. Everybody who cares about longevity and vitality needs to learn what she is teaching. Thank you so much, Laura. Okay, you're probably thinking, do I have to be vegan? Do I have to give up coffee and alcohol? Do I have to learn complicated recipes? Do I have to meditate for an hour a day? Do I even have time for this? No, you don't have to be vegan. No, you don't have to give up coffee and alcohol, but we are going to look at if you have any unhealthy relationship with them, and we're going to optimize that and make you realize that all the energy you need is within you, all the relaxation you need is within you. So no, you don't have to give up stuff, but we're gonna help you optimize and make the choices that are really aligned with your highest good. Do I have to learn complicated recipes? Absolutely not. We keep it super simple. Do I have to meditate for an hour a day? No, only if you want to. And it's such a delicious feeling. But no, moreover, I'm teaching you how to live in the consciousness of what you're trying to create rather than just sitting down for 15 minutes, even though it is so good to sit down for 15 minutes to clear the energy and to consciously cultivate higher emotions. Such a powerful practice. But then it's also about living in those emotions throughout the day. Okay. And living in the highest version of yourself. For instance, if you're someone that really wants to lose weight, I will teach you how to be in the consciousness of the body that you want so that you're living from that body all day long. And when you're living from that body, you don't want to eat donuts. You don't want to be lazy and watch TV. When you have worked in consciousness to the point where you've wired in the feeling of living in the body that you are desirous of, making changes or living the lifestyle that produces that becomes easy. See? And also weight just falls off because your body's always a reflection of your consciousness. So a lot of times it's like when someone's like feeling fat or like they're really against themselves on something, it's because they're in that relationship with themselves that their body shows up that way. But when you change the relationship with self, your body shows up different. See that? Okay, so the Inner Architect has a $499 value. So this is at $11,499. I'm not going to charge you that though. What else do you need to make sure you have success? I want to make sure you have everything. So you have me, you have the protocols I'm going to be giving to you. You have the journeys, the meditation journeys to wire your consciousness to be able to receive. And now you are going to have this amazing book to help you write, because when you write, it helps really wire things in your brain even more. This is the I Am Amazing workbook, How to Cultivate Your Genius and Create a Life You Love. So this book is full. You can see how beautifully illustrated it is, and it's full of amazing prompts to get yourself really clear on what you want to create, the body and life you want to create. So most people don't spend time in the field of pure potentiality. They just don't. But when you do, which I'll teach you to do in this program, the field reveals your genius. You have genius, greater genius within you that is wanting to express. And the more you express your genius, then the more your life flows and prosperity and joy and communion. It all flows from there. So this book helps you spend time in the field. So everything inside this book, you get your ideal self blueprint. That's a really fun exercise to fill out. Helps you get really clear on your ideals in many areas of your life. You will get the Excavate Your Genius journal prompts. You'll get the Identifying the Feeling of Self journal pages, identifying our feeling of self. You know, I spent years like wanting to manifest something while the whole time my feeling of self was like, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. So what was I creating more of? I gotta do this. So instead of having the feeling of self of like, look, I'm doing it. Like I'm in it. Yay. Yay me. Like I'm creating it. I'm living it. So the feeling of self. So this is actually such a powerful point. We could even be living it, in which cases like I was living it, but I still wasn't feeling it. I still was in the feeling of, instead of in the feeling of, yes. Why was that? Because it was my habit of thought, because it was the energy that I grew up in, because it was all these programs that I had that, even though I did work decades to look at my programs and unravel it, there was still this thing called the feeling of self that I didn't really know to look at until I did know. And then I was like, what is my feeling of self? So important. Okay. And there's much more inside that book. You can see we have a 5-star rating on Amazon. Okay, so what you're going to get the live training plus the 12 months of weekly group coaching. You're going to get the Inner Architect. You're going to get the I Am Amazing workbook. Total value $11,534. Now it's self-care time. I mean, this is all self-care, but I included this because this is a really fun product that I made, and I just wanted to give it to you guys. So this is the best beauty accessory, moisturize. And I included this so that you really get this fun accessory that will help you remember to take really good care of yourself. So when I learned that our skin absorbs everything we put on it, and when I learned that there are over 80,000 ingredients and personal care products that aren't safety tested, I had to take my skincare to the supernatural level. I spent $40K and at least a year of my life getting this product to market while I had a 2-year-old, mind you. And by the way, I won't be making this ever again. Like the people that get this product from this offer, in fact, they're sold out on Amazon right now, and I haven't even given any more to Amazon because what I have left, I want to give to you guys. I won't make this product again because it's so expensive to make. It's not made out of plastic. You can see it's actually made out of this very, very lightweight, flexible metal because it all has to be adjusted to your face. And it comes in this beautiful acrylic box and is actually quite an expensive product to make, especially now with the tariffs. And I don't have enough of a margin on it to really justify me spending the money on ads when I rather spend money on ads to like really help people the way that the principals program is helping people. So it's like not really that feasible. So get it now while they still exist because they are so great. Carolyn sent me this. She said this is the best. Morning bags, goodbye. I pair this every morning with my meditation and keep it on through my emails. I do that too. And it honestly delights me and keeps my skin tight. You know what's great too this morning I did with mine is when you take the cucumbers off, you can use them as like the best gua sha ever for detoxifying the lymph nodes in your face and in your throat. And, that helps like move oxygen around your face, which helps brighten your face. And it's great because with gua sha, I love gua sha too. Like I love gua sha stones that do that, especially because they're crystal, but you always have to use oil to do it. But the cucumber is great because you don't need to have oil. It just goes. So I love that. So you get the program, you get the audio series, you get the book, and then you also get Moisturize, which is a $125 value. So it's valued at $11,659. I'm not going to charge that. But what else do you need to make you successful? Because I want everyone that joins this program to have massive success. I want everyone to join this program to have that full shift into like total health empowerment. And I know how hard it is sometimes when our environments don't show up how we're showing up. So that is why I'm giving you guys the Golden Egg Wellness Workshop. This is the gift that keeps on giving to your family and your friends and your office. Okay, so I have a corporate vitality company called Corporate Vitality Programs. And so I give workshops to companies, right? So whether it's a lunch and learn, like a 90-minute wellness workshop or a 2 days wellness workshop or the weekly wellness workshop for companies, I'm giving you one of those wellness workshops. So what I charge $20,000 for, sometimes 30, for a workshop for a company, I'm giving that to you. So you can invite all of your friends, all of your family. You can invite your office. You can gift this to your office. You can say, I have this great new health coach, and I got my office the gift of this health coach coming to give you all a workshop so that your entire environment can raise with you. It's really powerful. So my family is not a good influence on me, so I can't let them influence me. I have to be the good influence. And that is what you have the opportunity to be. Like in my life, I've had to say, nope, I'm not going to live the way they live. And we all have that opportunity. And also, hey, like you're not going to force it. You're not going to, but a lot of people want to be their healthiest, happiest self, right? A lot of people are going to be really excited to get in on this information. And so it's a really great gift that you can give them, totally on you. So what's inside of that? Invite your family, invite your friends, invite your office, and they will have vitality hacks that they won't get anywhere else. And so we all can up level together. So I wasn't sure what to expect. This is a great quote from Rick Jameson. I went to his office. I wasn't sure what to expect, but the Golden Egg Wellness Workshop was beyond anything I imagined. Our staff felt feeling inspired, energized, and genuinely connected. Dr. Blythe's teachings created a ripple effect that continues to uplift our workplace culture. So I can't wait to bring this to your family and your friends in your office. Here was live because it was in LA. We'll likely do a Zoom call for everyone that you want to invite. Unless you're local, we can work out something as well. Local to me in Los Angeles. So that is a $20,000 value. I've actually even done it for more than that, but I put 20,000 on there. So total value, $31,659. Okay, so if all this did, I'm not going to charge that, but if all this did was remove self-sabotage and give you space to discover your best self, would it be worth it? If all this did was give you clarity and strength for how you want to show up for your family and the people who are influenced by you, would it be worth it? If all this did was relieve you from having to make doctor's appointments or fear illness, would it be worth it? I mean, for me, it's like if you actually paid that much, but you never had to pay for doctor's visits again, would it be worth it? Yeah, but you're not going to pay that much. But I had two choices, me personally. So I could focus on my publishing company and my corporate wellness programs. I can write more books. I can finally publish the 12 children's books that I've wrote over a decade ago that I haven't even had a chance to publish yet. Or my second option was I can lead and expand the principles program teachings because I want you to know your power and I want our culture to take their bodies back and to know the nature and divinity that is the human being. So I'm choosing to do this because I know that this work literally elevates humanity. And so I really hope that you're a part of that because you have to be a part of it. People have to do it for it to work, right? So what's health worth to you? Okay. What's it worth to not have to worry about diagnosis or degeneration, to not live with pain? What's that worth to you? Okay. What's it worth to you to not have to spend time and money at the doctor's office? Your self-healing design takes care of all of that. So if you don't take this offer today, you will spend much more than this on medical bills, therapy bills, and treatments that aren't necessary once you understand your self-healing design. So health is priceless, but diseases are expensive. Okay, so this isn't a cost, it's an investment. That's what I really want you to understand. This is not something that you're paying for. This is an investment in your well-being, and it will save you money. Okay, so you can see that why it's a good deal even at $31,659. But because I want to see everyone be their best, and because I'm willing to give you an immense discount for this, because I would love for you to send me a video testimonial like these guys did after you've had a chance to experience the program. So after the initial 8 weeks, when you learn all the components and you start putting it together, I would love a testimonial from you, which is why I'm willing to give you a massive discount. So today you can get started for just $2,777. So jump in on blythenaturalliving.com/in and you will get all of these amazing products. So go to that link right now, blythenaturalliving.com/in to join the program. How much is it worth to not have to worry about future illness or quickened degeneration? How much is it worth it to not feel pain in your body or your mind? Because let's face it, like when we're not feeling well, our mind is, we're not happy. Life is not good. Like it's hard to, your mind is not going to be feeling as awesome as your mind can be feeling when your body is experiencing pain and discomfort, right? So it's like when we work on one, we work on the other, but we also work on the mind and emotions as well in the program, which is really powerful. So how much is it worth to be consciously upgraded to eliminate self-sabotage for good? Eliminate self-sabotage. You know how many people aren't living their genius because of self-sabotage? And if you're not living your genius, life is not as good as it's meant to be. So yeah, what is it worth to you to be the best version of yourself, to invite in new opportunities that are a vibrational match to the new you? It's big time. What is it worth to you to not have to visit doctor's offices very often, right? So go to blythenaturalliving.com/in. Now you have two choices. I love these images because it's like, this is really the truth. Standing from wherever you are now, look down the road. It's either one version or the other. Like if you heed to the self-healing design, you learn the self-healing design, you implement it, you're going to be spry, fit, agile all the way. If you don't, you degenerate. And when you degenerate, you degenerate. That's what it looks like, right? That we have, this is, these visuals are so fantastic in that we can really see the difference we have before us. And it's not just about how you look, it's about how you feel, right? It's not, I'm not just up here saying like, you want to look gorgeous at 80. It's not, yeah, looking great is amazing, but it's how is your body working? You're not ill. You're not stiff joints. You're not on medications. You're not worried that your heart is going to palpitate incorrectly or that you're going to have a stroke and become paralyzed. You don't have to worry about those things when you're living in integrity with your self-healing design. So jump in at blythenaturalliving.com/in. I give you a 30-day guarantee. If you aren't resonating with the program or don't find it easy to incorporate into your life, your money back, no worries at all. So the real question is, can I actually do it? Yes, you can. Of course you can. I am here to help you. Yes, of course you can do it. It's not, you're not, you'll see when you get into the program, you show up, you listen, and you integrate. You show up, you listen, and you integrate. You show up, you listen, and you integrate. And even in the live classes, of course, I love having everyone there live. It's great energy live, but you still get the energetic morphic field from having us all there. If you watch the replay, like if you can't show up to the live recording and you watch the replay, and then you can watch it again and you practice the practices, it's powerful. And really, it doesn't take too much of your life. I teach you how to make it seamless. So you're going to get the Principles Program, 8 weeks training plus 12 months of weekly group coaching valued at $11,000. You're going to get the Inner Architect audio series valued at $4,099. You're going to get the I Am Amazing workbook valued at $35, the Moisturize valued at $125, the Golden Egg Wellness Workshop for everybody that you know that wants to come. Your gift to your office, if you have an office, or to all of your friends, $20,000. So total value, $31,659. It's yours today for $2,777. And if you get in by tonight, and you know what? I'm going to increase this. Anyone that gets in by the time the cart closes on Sunday. So not only just by tonight, but anyone that gets in by the time the cart closes on Sunday will also get this Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation by Purium. This is a fantastic product. You get $400 worth of organic superfood meals that you mix with water. It comes even with that wireless mixer. It comes with a gut cleanse, which clears out all of the glyphosate within 6 weeks. It's amazing. A parasite cleanse, which everybody needs to do a parasite cleanse. Everybody does. If you've never done one, you absolutely need one. Everybody needs that. And then this dark cherry elixir sleep support, which is 100% organic dark cherry elixir, which cherries have melatonin in them, but it also helps your body produce melatonin. So it's this amazing sleep support and hormone support that helps your body really repair. So I am going to purchase this for you. If you get in by the time the cart closes, well, it was going to be by tonight, but I'm just feeling generous. Anyone that buys before the cart closes on Sunday at midnight, I will ship this to you. This is a fantastic, like, cheater way to do a whole nutritional reset. It's really fantastic. So get in at blythenaturalliving.com/in. All right. So go to that link. Get started today for $2,777. And class starts next week. So get on in there. We're going to start next Wednesday. I'm going to take a poll with people that join to see if Wednesdays or Fridays are better. And I'll pop this in the chat right now for all of you that stayed on, and you get a copy of the Supernatural Green Diet book, which is just great, full of easy, healthy recipes. So does anyone have any questions? If you do, pop them in the chat, or you can email me, Blythe at blythenaturalliving.com. I am here to support you. I am here to really remind you of the God technology that you are. So if there's anything in your body and in your life that's not thriving right now, I jump into this course, jump into this program, get the help that you need because you're meant to thrive. You're not meant to be sick. You're not meant to take pills. You're not meant to have surgeries. You're meant to understand your self-healing design. You're meant to know yourself as your creator knows you. And that is as a God technology. So I'll see you inside the program. There is so much love here for you. Bye for now.